You jolt awake. The room is silent, but your mind is racing. It's 3 a.m. Again. This isn't just a random wake-up call, it's a message. And if you're brave enough to listen, it could change your life. Have you ever wondered why you wake up at 3 a.m.? It's not a coincidence. This is a sacred time, a moment when the veil between the conscious and subconscious is thinnest. What you do in these quiet hours can define your destiny. Let's uncover the powerful message behind this mysterious wake-up call. Number 1, the spiritual awakening. Let's begin with the most profound explanation for why you wake up at 3 a.m. It's a spiritual awakening. This isn't just some random interruption in your sleep cycle, it's a call from the depths of your soul. Across cultures and traditions, the hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. are known as the witching hour or the hour of God. It's a time when the veil between the physical world and the spiritual realm is at its thinnest. This is when the universe speaks in whispers, and if you're awake, it's because you're being summoned to listen. Think about it. Why now? Why you? This isn't an accident. You're being called to confront something deeper within yourself. Perhaps it's a longing for meaning, a desire to break free from the mundane, or a need to reconnect with a part of yourself you've neglected. This is your soul's way of saying, wake up, not just physically, but spiritually. There's more to life than what you've been living. This wake-up call is an invitation to align with your higher purpose. It's a nudge to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. But here's the catch. Spiritual awakenings are rarely comfortable. They demand that you face the shadows within you, the fears, the doubts, the unresolved pain. This is why so many people roll over and go back to sleep, both literally and metaphorically. It's easier to ignore the call than to answer it. But if you're brave enough to sit with this discomfort, you'll find that it's the gateway to transformation. This is your moment to ask yourself the hard questions. What is my life's purpose? Am I living in alignment with my deepest values? What am I being called to change? The answers won't come all at once, but the act of asking these questions is the first step toward awakening. And let me be clear, this isn't about religion or dogma. It's about connection to yourself, to others, and to the greater cosmos. It's about recognizing that you are part of something much larger than your individual existence. When you wake up at 3 a.m., it's a reminder that you are not alone. The universe is conspiring to guide you toward your highest potential. So what do you do when you find yourself awake at this sacred hour? Don't fight it. Don't resent it. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Use this time to meditate, to pray, or simply to be still. Listen to the silence. It's in this silence that you'll hear the voice of your soul. And when you do, you'll realize that this wake-up call isn't a curse. It's a gift. It's the universe's way of saying, you are ready. It's time to rise. This is your spiritual awakening. Will you answer the call? Number 2, the subconscious mind. Now, let's delve into the second reason you wake up at 3 a.m., your subconscious mind. This is the hidden powerhouse of your psyche, the part of you that operates beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. And during the early hours of the morning, your subconscious is wide awake, working overtime to process everything you've experienced, felt, and suppressed throughout the day. Think of your mind as an iceberg. The tip above the water is your conscious mind, the part that makes decisions, solves problems, and navigates daily life. But beneath the surface lies the vast uncharted territory of your subconscious. This is where your deepest memories, emotions, and desires reside. It's also where your fears, insecurities, and unresolved traumas are stored. And at 3 a.m., when the world is quiet and your conscious mind is at rest, your subconscious rises to the surface. This is why you might wake up with a racing mind, your thoughts swirling with worries, regrets, or even flashes of inspiration. Your subconscious is trying to communicate with you. It's saying, hey, we've got some unfinished business here. Maybe it's a conflict you've been avoiding, a decision you've been putting off, or a dream you've been too afraid to pursue. Whatever it is, your subconscious is bringing it to your attention because it needs to be addressed. But here's the thing, Your subconscious doesn't speak in words. It speaks in symbols, emotions, and sensations. That's why you might wake up feeling anxious, restless, or even inspired without knowing exactly why. This is your mind's way of processing and integrating the complexities of your life. And while it can feel unsettling, it's also an incredible opportunity for growth. So what do you do when your subconscious wakes you up at 3 a.m.? First, don't panic. This isn't a malfunction, it's a feature. Your mind is doing exactly what it's designed to do, help you make sense of your life. Instead of fighting it, lean into it. Take a few deep breaths and ask yourself, what is my mind trying to tell me? This is the perfect time to journal. Write down whatever comes to mind, no matter how random or trivial it seems. You might be surprised at the insights that emerge. Or if you're feeling overwhelmed, try a grounding technique like deep breathing or mindfulness meditation. This will help you calm your mind and create space for clarity. The key is to approach your subconscious with curiosity and compassion. It's not your enemy, it's your ally. It holds the keys to your deepest desires, your hidden potential, and your truest self. By listening to it, you can uncover the root of your fears, heal old wounds, and tap into a wellspring of creativity and wisdom. And remember, this process isn't always easy. Confronting your subconscious can be uncomfortable, even painful at times, but it's also incredibly liberating. When you face what's been buried, you take back your power. You reclaim the parts of yourself that you've disowned or forgotten. And in doing so, you become more whole, more authentic, and more alive. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing, don't see it as a disruption. See it as an invitation, a chance to connect with the deepest parts of yourself. Your subconscious is calling. Will you answer? Number 3, the call to action. Now, let's talk about the third reason you wake up at 3 a.m., and this one is urgent. It's a call to action. This isn't just a gentle nudge or a polite suggestion. It's a demand. Your soul, your subconscious, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is shaking you awake and saying, enough is enough. It's time to move. You see, life has a way of lulling us into complacency. We get comfortable in our routines, our habits, our excuses. We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm not ready yet, or it's too late for me. But deep down, there's a part of us that knows better. That part doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fears. It only cares about one thing, your potential. And at 3 a.m., when the world is silent and there's nowhere to hide, that part of you rises up and says, wake up. You were made for more than this. This wake-up call is a sign that you're being summoned to step into your greatness. But greatness doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone. It comes from facing your fears, taking risks, and doing the hard things you've been avoiding. And let me tell you something. If you're waking up at 3 a.m., there's something you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a career change you've been too scared to make. Maybe it's a relationship you've been too afraid to leave, or too proud to repair. Maybe it's a dream you've been too timid to pursue. Whatever it is, it's time to stop running and start facing it. This is your moment of truth. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you hit the snooze button and go back to sleep? Because here's the hard truth. If you ignore this call, it will only get louder. The universe doesn't give up on you. It will keep shaking you awake night after night until you finally listen. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The stakes get higher, the pain gets deeper, the regret gets heavier. But if you answer the call, if you take that first step, something extraordinary happens. You start to align with your purpose. You start to tap into a reservoir of strength and courage you didn't even know you had. And you start to see that the obstacles in your path aren't there to stop you. They're there to shape you. They're there to make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So what does answering the call look like? It starts with a decision to stop settling for less than you deserve, a decision to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment will never come, a decision to take responsibility for your life and start moving in the direction of your dreams. Then it's about taking action, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Right now. Start small if you have to, but start. Make that phone call, write that email, take that class, have that difficult conversation. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you were meant to live. And here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. Seek out mentors, coaches, or friends who can support you on this journey. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, and who inspire you to be your best self. Because when you're answering the call to action, you need all the help you can get, but ultimately the responsibility lies with you. No one else can do this for you. No one else can live your life for you. This is your battle to fight, your mountain to climb, your destiny to fulfill, and the world needs you to show up, because the world doesn't need more people who play it safe. It needs people who are willing to take risks, to push boundaries, to dream big, and act boldly. It needs people like you. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't roll over and go back to sleep. Sit up, listen, and ask yourself, what is the universe calling me to do? Then take a deep breath and take that first step, because the life you've been dreaming of isn't going to come to you. You have to go out and claim it. This is your call to action. Will you answer it? Number 4, the power of reflection. Let's move to the 4th reason you wake up at 3 a.m., the power of reflection. This is not just a random interruption in your sleep. It's an invitation to pause, to look inward, and to reconnect with yourself. In the chaos of modern life, we rarely take the time to truly reflect. We're too busy chasing deadlines, scrolling through social media, or numbing ourselves with distractions. But at 3 a.m., when the world is still and silent, there's nowhere to hide. It's just you and your thoughts. And that's where the magic happens. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools we have for personal growth. It's how we make sense of our experiences, learn from our mistakes, and align our actions with our values. But here's the problem. Most of us don't do it. We go through life on autopilot, reacting to whatever comes our way without ever stopping to ask, is this what I really want? Is this who I really am? When you wake up at 3 a.m., it's your mind's way of saying, hey, we need to talk. This is your chance to step off the treadmill of life and take stock of where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. It's a rare opportunity to have an honest conversation with yourself, one that can lead to profound insights and transformative change. So what does reflection look like in practice? It starts with creating space. When you wake up at 3 a.m., don't immediately reach for your phone or turn on the TV. Sit with the silence. Let your mind wander. Ask yourself questions like, what am I feeling right now? What's been weighing on me? What do I need to let go of? Journaling is one of the most effective ways to reflect. Write down whatever comes to mind, without judgment or censorship. You might be surprised at what emerges. Often the act of putting your thoughts on paper helps you see them more clearly. It's like holding up a mirror to your soul. Meditation is another powerful tool. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. This practice can help you cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. But reflection isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking forward. Use this time to set intentions for the day ahead. What kind of person do you want to be? What actions will you take to move closer to your goals? How will you show up for yourself and others? By starting your day with intention, you set the tone for everything that follows. And here's the thing, reflection isn't always comfortable. It requires you to confront the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore, the fears, the regrets, the insecurities. But it's in facing these shadows that you find your light. When you acknowledge your struggles, you take away their power. When you own your mistakes, you free yourself from their grip. And when you embrace your imperfections, you open the door to self-compassion and growth. Reflection also helps you reconnect with your values. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters to you. But at 3 a.m., when the noise fades away, you can hear the whispers of your heart. What do you truly care about? What kind of legacy do you want to leave? What brings you joy and fulfillment? These are the questions that reflection helps you answer. And let's not forget gratitude. Reflection is also a time to count your blessings. Even in the darkest moments, there's always something to be grateful for. A loved one, a small victory, a moment of beauty. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and that shift can change everything. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't see it as a nuisance. See it as a gift. This is your time to reflect, to reconnect, and to realign. It's your chance to step out of the chaos and into the calm. It's your opportunity to become the best version of yourself. The power of reflection is within you. Will you use it? Number 5. The transformation. Now let's talk about transformation. This is the 5th reason you wake up at 3 a.m., because you're on the brink of a profound change. Transformation is not a gentle process. It's messy, uncomfortable, and often painful. but it's also beautiful, necessary, and inevitable if you want to grow. And waking up at 3 a.m. is a sign that you're in the midst of it. Think of it like this. Every great transformation begins in the dark. The caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly in the light of day. It happens in the stillness of the cocoon, where no one can see. And right now, you're in your cocoon. The 3 a.m. wake-up call is your soul's way of telling you that you're being reshaped, redefined, and reborn. But here's the hard truth. Transformation requires surrender. You can't control this process. You can't rush it or force it. All you can do is trust it. Trust that the discomfort you're feeling is not a sign of failure, but a sign of growth. Trust that the old version of you is being stripped away to make room for the new. And trust that on the other side of this struggle, there's a version of you that's stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. This is your crucible moment, the point where you're tested the most, but where you also have the greatest opportunity for growth. It's where you discover what you're truly made of. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you let fear hold you back? Will you embrace the uncertainty, or will you cling to the familiar? Transformation also requires courage. It takes courage to face your shadows, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into the unknown. But here's the thing, you already have that courage. It's in you, waiting to be unleashed. And every time you wake up at 3 a.m., it's a reminder that you're being called to dig deep and find it. This is also where resilience is built. Every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every tear you shed, it's all part of the process. It's all forging you into someone who can withstand life's storms and emerge stronger on the other side. So what do you do when you're in the midst of transformation? First, be patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Second, be kind to yourself. This is not the time for self-criticism or judgment. And third, keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Remember, the butterfly doesn't regret the cocoon. It knows that the struggle was necessary for its wings to form. And one day you'll look back on this time and feel the same way. You'll see that every 3 a.m. wake-up call, every moment of discomfort, was leading you to your transformation. This is your moment. Embrace it, trust it, and know that on the other side there's a version of you that's ready to soar. Number 6, the new dawn. Finally, let's talk about the new dawn. This is the 6th reason you wake up at 3 a.m., because after the darkest night comes the brightest day. This wake-up call isn't just a reminder of the struggles you're facing. It's a promise of what's to come. It's the universe's way of telling you that no matter how hard things seem right now, a new beginning is on the horizon. Think about it. 3 a.m. is the darkest hour of the night. It's when the world feels most still, most silent, and most uncertain. But it's also the hour that precedes the dawn. It's the moment just before the light breaks through. And if you're waking up at this time, it's because you're being prepared for something greater. You're being primed for a new chapter, a fresh start, a rebirth. This is the time to hold on to hope, even when it feels like the night will never end. Because here's the truth. Every challenge you're facing, every fear you're confronting, every tear you're shedding, it's all part of the process. It's all leading you to a brighter, more fulfilling future. But you have to trust the journey. You have to believe that the dawn is coming, even when you can't yet see the light. The new dawn is also a reminder that you are not defined by your past. No matter what mistakes you've made, no matter how many times you've fallen, you have the power to rise again. Every sunrise is a symbol of renewal, a chance to start over. And if you're waking up at 3 a.m., it's because you're being given that chance. This is your opportunity to let go of what's holding you back, the regrets, the grudges, the self-doubt. It's your chance to step into the light and embrace the person you were always meant to be. But it requires courage. It requires you to believe in yourself, even when the world feels dark. And here's the beautiful part. The new dawn isn't just about you. It's about the impact you'll have on the world. When you rise, you inspire others to do the same. When you step into your light, you give others permission to do the same. Your transformation, your resilience, your hope, it all ripples out into the world, creating a wave of positive change. So what do you do while you're waiting for the dawn? You keep moving forward. You take small, consistent steps toward your goals. You surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. And most importantly, you hold on to the belief that the light is coming. The 3 a.m. wake-up call is not a curse. It's a gift. It's a reminder that you are stronger than you think,
braver than you feel, and more capable than you know. It's a sign that you are being prepared for something extraordinary. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't despair. Sit up, look out the window, and remember the darkest hour is just before the dawn. Your new beginning is closer than you think. This is your new dawn. Will you rise to meet it? So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m., don't roll over and go back to sleep. Sit up, listen. This is your moment. The universe is speaking to you. Will you answer the call? The power to transform your life is in your hands. Rise and seize it.